So for the past couple weeks, I've felt like this guy from a cartoon I saw a long time ago. It's a comic strip. It's like obviously a senior executive in his office, right? And he's standing there, arms out on the shoulders of like a smaller guy in front of him. Dude obviously looks like an accountant. And he says, "It's up to you now, Miller. Only an accounting breakthrough can save us." Right? So that's kind of the way I felt. I had been hoping for an accounting breakthrough or some kind of breakthrough in like my ability to get work done efficiently, or who knows. That's never going to happen, right? And maybe I came up with a couple of ideas to save time, right? Make things go a little bit more efficiently. But I'm still working. So there is no substitute for buckling. There's never going to be a substitute for just buckling down and actually doing the work. Anyway, welcome to the channel. I'm Billy. Today's video, I'm going to talk about, talk about stuff and have a shave. I'm using Stirling Island Man and my Henson Mild razor. This is a second use Lord Platinum blade. So Island Man is this, I don't know, you really can't see it in here because I'm loading from there, but it's bright blue. Which I don't know why. Something vaguely tropical, but also cologne like scent about it. I'm not sure what's in it. I'm not really good at picking out scent notes. Maybe some kind of I don't know, some kind of tropical, like frosty tropical drink. Anyway, so yeah, the accounting breakthrough is never going to come. Not if, right? You can't count on it. Or in my case, I can't break the laws of physics and actually go back in time and correct all the mistakes I made and, erase, erase, like, oh, here's the button to erase procrastination. Let's just undo all of that. Excellent. Well, more than just procrastination. A lot more. There's, oh God, what all was there? Inefficiency and avoidance and maybe a little bit of delusion and who knows what else. But yeah, in thinking about things and trying not to spend too much time thinking about, issues like this, like sometimes you need to think about the problem a lot to find the solution, like the ultimate solution. And sometimes you need to just take care of things, right? And save that for later. But it's not like I'm able to work 100% of every second of every minute of every hour. I take time out to take a shower, have a shave, use a toilet, eat a meal. I mean, there are free minutes during the day where I'm not otherwise thinking about the stuff I'm trying to get done. And so that obviously, well, for me, obviously, because that's the kind of person I am, my brain turns to, how did I get myself into this? And it's not like the first time it's ever happened. I mean, some of it has to do with underestimation of the magnitude of the work involved and its complexity. And some of it has to do with my own, what is effectively inefficiency, because I have this thing about things needing to be perfect. Oh God, this has been an issue since going back to university and probably even before. Sometimes, an imperfect product that's in use is way better than a perfect product that never gets produced. And sometimes you just got to let go of that, that perfect ideal thing. That's, the beautiful thing you have in your head. Anyway, time for the shave. So let's go. I'm thinking just 2 passes and touch-ups today. Might be on there a little thick. Well, might. It is. Anyway, middle of the week. I hope your week has been going well. Hope your week has been going better than mine. I mean, to be honest, my week hasn't been horrible. I've been getting stuff done. It's just, I really wish I was a lot further along than I am. And I shouldn't have to be working as much as I am. And I find myself like, I just thought of this. And it's something I've said to other people before, and totally forgot to apply it to myself. Do not let great become the enemy of good. Right? Instead of pursuing this great grand vision of, what I'm working on from the get-go, I probably should have identified a good enough version of that could be, that could then be, time permitting, upgraded to great later. On top of that, I think I need to remind myself constantly I should put this, I should do a cross stitch and put it on the wall, hang it on the wall of my office, and my home office and my work office. And it should basically say, first drafts are allowed to suck. And then nobody really expects perfection. And yeah, that thing I said already. A decent product now is worth, a good product now is worth 100 times a perfect idea that never happens. Something like that. And I don't know why I'm like this. Is it anxiety? Am I more? Well, I know this. I've been thinking about it, and I've been thinking back on my life, and I'm kind of realizing that I'm more afraid. I'm more afraid of putting out a product that I think isn't great than I am of, just call it, pushing deadlines. I'll be as kind to myself as possible when saying that. It would be a lot better for everyone to just get something out there than wait too long for this grandiose thing. But me, personally, and I don't know why this is, it's always been this way. I fear, I dislike no, you know what? I can't think of how to say it the other way. I like, personally, for the stuff that I'm working on, I personally prefer perfection over timeliness. And that's messed up. That's a recipe for like a hard life and work. You can't do that. I can't do that. I don't know. Do you ever deal with that? Right? This drive to do more than you really need to. Like, does anybody else really suffer these issues like I do? I'm sure there must be people out there. I know there are. I know there are for sure, based on stuff I see. Right. Stuff I've seen at work in the past. It's like, this was clearly not the best solution, but it's a good solution. And it got, it's like, dang, there's still a couple weeks left on the timeline. What the heck? That wasn't for me, by the way. That was from somebody that was being realistic and left a couple weeks for review. You know, like an actual mature view of their own work, which you'd think I'd have by now. You know, like, crap, how many years experience do I have now? Almost 30 years. Yeah, about 30 years. Let's see. It's a mature way of looking at your own purpose at work, I think. I have been more like that in the past, but it takes conscious attention. Like I really have to think about it. Anyway, yeah, so that's that's the shave. That's good. So that Stirling soap, despite it smelling good, I like its slickness. Lather and, you know what, post-shave feel better than the Parasso I used yesterday, better than the Arco I used on Monday. So if you didn't notice, I'm kind of stepping through my personal hierarchy of soaps as the week progresses. And hopefully, when I break out the top-notch soap, the one that I like the most, my work will actually be done. It will be kind of a celebration. One thing I've noticed, though, is like, I don't know if it's just, I don't think I'm rushing, given how long it's actually taking me to shave, or at least to shave while talking. Or maybe I'm just not paying enough attention because I'm talking and thinking rather than, minding the shave. But I'm seeing more weepers this week than like every day. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just an indicator of my overall physical and mental condition. Yeah, I don't know. So, one thing I did do last night when I just couldn't do any more work. I had to, do something else. Think about, other things. I took one of these. It's probably dangerous. Probably the last thing I needed to do. But I took one of these online tests for something I mentioned yesterday, the Big Five personality assessment. There's several different versions online. I probably did a couple of them. They ask the questions a little bit differently, and I feel like it's a good idea to try a couple different versions of a test like that, just to see if there's going to be any major differences. And really, I didn't see major differences between the two that I took. And in the Big Five hierarchy, it's an acronym, spells OCEAN, and the categories are openness to experience, C, oh dang, skip C for a second. Oh God, it would be C, because C is the one I have the most trouble with. Okay, it took me a bit. I had to think about it, and it just came back to me all of a sudden. So, and this is my second attempt to say these categories again, but it's openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. And those have particular definitions that might not exactly match what you might think upon hearing the words. But turns out that my particular profile was I was very high on openness, which includes like intellect, intellectual curiosity and desire to dig into things and try new things and think deeply, solve novel, interesting problems. That one was really high for me. But what was really low for me was conscientiousness, which includes industriousness, which is the ability to actually make a plan and stick to it, and actually get things done, and orderliness, which has a couple different interpretations. But in my case, I'm going to interpret it right now as use of like organized process. This all basically confirms what I already knew about myself in a way, but the useful part about it is that there are known strategies for attacking conscientiousness issues. One of which, as I mentioned yesterday, was like having, and the day before, was having a plan, using lists, maybe having a schedule, and making them, there's other things you can do. And in thinking about this, it's like for a lot of my work, my low conscientiousness, my low innate conscientiousness has been compensated for by my high openness, and especially the intellect portion of it, which I think the description I saw said that the person with very high intellect, in this framework, really, really wants to work on interesting problems and has a passion for them. Basically something like that. So that can make up for all the feelings of low conscientiousness, as long as you're interested, as long as you're not bored, as long as you see an interesting problem to be solved. And when it starts to feel like something you've already done before, then you don't have that working for you anymore, really. Anyway, I got to finish this. You know what? I'll include a link to a couple of those tests in the video description if you're interested in them. And then, yeah, that's the end. That's the end for today. If you liked this, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching and sitting here listening to my babbling. And anyway, I think I'll end today by saying, take a look at the things you need to get done. And if you're having trouble getting them done, ask yourself why. Don't make a huge research project out of it, but if you can identify a reason why that you can address now or later, that's useful information. But in the end, there is no substitute for just doing the work and getting stuff done. So keep that in mind too. There's not going to be an accounting breakthrough that will save you in the end. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.